I tore off the diaper. I casually threw it into the sea. The smell of feces immediately attracted a large number of small fish. I realized I might be saved. I picked up a Swiss Army knife and made a simple fishing tool. I tried countless times. Not a single fish was caught. Exhausted and starving, I collapsed on the container. Just as despair was swallowing me, a plane flew overhead. Hope surged back again. I immediately returned to the container. I knocked out a piece of mirror. When I climbed back onto the top of the container because I was in too much of a hurry, my thigh was cut by a sharp piece of metal. This might be my only chance to signal for help. I clenched my teeth and endured the intense pain. I raised the mirror high, trying to use the sun's reflection to catch the plane's attention. The pain in my leg quickly became unbearable. When I lifted my skirt, I saw the wound was half a meter long. If I didn't save myself in time, I would die very soon. I removed a metal hook from a circuit board. Using the mirror, I pulled copper wire from my earphones. I tied the copper wire to the hook. The simple suturing tool was ready. To reduce the pain, I drank a bottle of strong liquor. Then I completed the procedure on my own. Looking at the tangled earphone wires, I suddenly had an idea. I wove the earphone wires into a fishing net. The next morning, I placed the net into the sea first. Then I threw the baby's feces onto the net. The fish smelled it and quickly swam into the net. I seized the moment and pulled the net up fast. After days of hunger, I could finally eat my fill. Using this method, basic food was no longer a problem. It also gave me the confidence to keep going. I recorded the water level every day and drained water on schedule. As long as it didn't exceed the maximum level, we were safe for the time being. Beyond survival, more importantly, I needed rescue. I wrote a message asking for help on paper. I put it into a plastic container. Then I threw them into the sea one by one. I hoped someone would find us like a message in a bottle. After sustained efforts, the water level slowly went down. Everything seemed to be getting better. But that night, repeated banging noises woke me up. The water level was rising rapidly. I climbed onto the top of the container to check. I found it was just a plastic container. At that moment, my phone rang. It was my husband calling. I finally managed to unlock it, but what came through were his last words. He was discovered while attempting to migrate illegally. He was shot while trying to escape. With his remaining awareness, he said goodbye to me. His departure broke me even more, but for my newborn child, I had to survive. By the 26th day, the water level had reached its highest point. The water had flooded the place where we slept. The strong water pressure made further drainage impossible. We had no choice but to stay on top of the container, but this was not a long-term solution. The container would eventually be completely submerged.